the Maggi food trucks. I did a research on the Maggi food truck industry in India, and we realized that it's really growing in India and it's catching up very fast. If Nestle could have Nescafes, Maggi could have. This is the last. So you can see a burger made of Maggi, though, if you are interested. So this is a long-term strategy, and the outer hoarding again in the long term will be a campaign timeline. What does the communication cater to the stakeholders? What does the communication help us achieve? Our KPIs for the campaign, our budget for the campaign. That's it. So we have a storyboard video. It's not a TVC, it's a storyboard. So basically, to create that nostalgia back, it's just about rekindling those emotions with Maggi.
The moments
that's
that we spent with
that's
Maggi.
what the TVC is supposed to do.
कभी उनके जिद से,
कभी पॉकेट मनी ना होने के कारण,
कभी एक घरवाली देर में,
तो कभी समय की कमी के कारण,
कभी बारिश के मौसम में, तो कभी सर्दी की गर्म चाय के साथ,
कभी एग्जाम के मिडनाइट स्नैक्स के टाइम, तो कभी हॉस्टल गेट टुगेदर से,
कभी अकेले,
तो कभी उस लास्ट बाइट के लिए लड़कर,
कभी कैंटीन में,
तो कभी सूटकेस में पैक हॉलिडेज के लिए,
कभी माँ के हाथ के खाने की याद,
तो कभी मुझे खाना बनाना आता है ये प्रूव करने के लिए।
इन सभी लम्हों के लिए
और वो सभी आने वाले लम्हों के लिए आपकी मैगी सिर्फ आपके लिए।
So I think I'll keep it short. This is the home team. As I can see, I heard from the applause someone supporting me. I don't want to get into trouble. Some very good ideas in there, but overall I think lacking. There was some thread that was missing. I couldn't make out. You had too much of stuff going on there. I couldn't make out where you were starting and where you wanted to go. And like I said earlier, we know the starting point is the problem. But what do you do with that problem? What does it mean for Nestle, and what does it mean for it as a business, for the stakeholders, etc.? And how are you addressing it? I think we are very eager to provide solutions, but not eager to say what the solutions are going to. What is the end goal? At the end of it, there is a goal inside. There has to be a goal inside.
So, ma'am, actually, our campaign given us and we want to do the following. Yeah. So we want to do the following with the campaigns, and each campaign and its stakeholders want to came to the
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
So we have every strategy.
Marking the stakeholders and marking each campaign would be
So the biggest learning for all of you guys is that I can see there are 55 slides, and you have got 10 minutes, right? Now, it's not humanly possible to actually take the judges and make your elevator pitch across 55 slides in 10 minutes. Not possible. So the biggest learning is that you need to learn how to concise your argument and, make the presentation crisp. So I think that's because you ended up fast talking. As a result, we kind of missed out on, on the core idea, core thought. So that's, I think, a learning for you going forward. I quite liked a couple of things in your presentation in terms of, I think you had made a good attempt to capture the problem, rather to define the problem. So that's a good attempt. I also think that you captured the social media conversation part, or at least made an attempt. That's also quite laudable, and that's something which I didn't see in any of the presentations before. I also like the fact that at least you tried to recommend a concept which is fast catching on, which is user-generated content, because that's the new thing, really. And because it actually bypasses the need for any celebrity endorsement in that sense. Maybe, yeah, that's a logic I could infer. So I think that's a good part. I also liked a slide in the end. It's got hidden, but which addresses what Sudha was trying to mention. which is what is the ultimate objective and the goals. You had a slide on the KPIs, which I think has at least, you have to put numbers. If you are writing a KPIs of the campaign, you need to put some numbers, because otherwise it's not, if it's not measurable, then obviously it's not yielding any result. So that's the thing which is a good direction, but I think you are missing in that. Specific feedbacks I'm giving. So I think that's that, but I think it's a laudable attempt on your part. Thanks.
Yeah, I think you've got all the best parts. I just have one small question. Right in the very beginning, you said somewhere that the people who, there are more people who miss Maggie, who are loyalists, right? So if you have a majority of loyalists, then you don't have a problem.
So we don't have a problem, but even 30% of the people who are not missing Maggie as much, 30% accounts for a lot of people. We can't ignore them.
I think,
So while 60%
yeah, I think you all are, you must learn how to interpret numbers. You're all going by numbers as they exist.
Also, what we learned is,
If I must tell you, my friends, if I have 15% loyalists in a group of 100, I'm profitable and rocking. Yeah? You guys are talking about 70%.
So we actually conducted a survey within our college
Sure,
campus and
no problem.
friends. So according to that,
It's
data
an ecosystem.
66% were loyalists who really wanted to come back.
and
And
realizing
yet
that
your problem is that we've lost trust. Where?
it is
The remaining
the
34%.
remaining. That's it. And the secondary part of the strategy was that
No. This is, you are the MBA.
Yeah. So, but-
Senior, postgraduates,
Yeah.
you can't argue like this.
just to add to it, just to add to it. So the strategies where we are assessing the loyalists, we send them hampers of Maggie brand. So we are trying to promote brand Maggie. We are trying to just get that love for Maggie to be there for other products of Maggie as well.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Next up we have Dynamics from Jamnalal Bajaj, Institute of Management Studies.
Good afternoon to the judges and a warm welcome to the students who are here. We're Team Dynamics and we're representing Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies. I'd like to introduce my team members, Natasha, Rohan, and I'm Vidya here. Okay, so let's go ahead and understand why exactly is this such a big controversy. Maybe understand what Nestle is or maybe perhaps was. We know that Nestle has a portfolio of about 200 global and local brands, and it explains its global presence already. It has always been the market leader in whichever segment it has entered, and this is evident that it has a major market. It has a major market presence by seeing that it has over 400 factories across 86 countries, and it employs over 3 lakh employees. Maggi, being one of its leading brands, has a valuation of over $1,000 million in the previous year. It spans across generations, and this is very evident when we see a grandfather and a grandson sharing the same plate of Maggi. Its USP has been the tastemaker, which is a trademark secret formula, and it is the thing that which makes Maggi tastier, and it is also the hero of our controversy. As we can see from the statistics, Nestle has always been a major market share in the noodle segment with over 75% of its market share during the past 7 years. Maggi contributes to over 30% of its share of wallet, and no wonder that's the reason why Nestle had reported a loss of 64 crores in the last quarter. Now I'd like to hand it over to my colleague Natasha to take it.
Before we really discuss the strategies that could be used to actually bring Maggi out of the soup, let us first know what actually the controversy is. So instead of actually going or diving through this flow chart, we have actually planned it out in a very innovative manner. So let's just summarize the whole controversy. So the biggest question that is there is, will Maggie be able to restore its image? Before we really move on, we would first like to analyze what could be the possible reasons why this controversy happened. A few reasons could be Nestle indeed is guilty and it could not stay up to the international standard. There could have been loopholes, or there could have been some flaws with the testing methods that were used by the government, or it could be a plot by a competitor. There could also be a possibility wherein the Maggie was kept in open for a very long time, or the packaging could have been perforated. But then there were certain mistakes that were being done by Nestle. The biggest mistake that was being done by Nestle, that it actually led to struck its own toe with a hammer, was delay in communication. Nestle not only delayed its response in coming into media, the response that it gave was too technical. The second most important point here would be the denial and blame game. Maggie, the CEO of Maggie, came in forward and he said that there was no issue with the manufacturing process, but then there was an issue with the source of water or the naturally occurring substances that are used in Maggie. One good example that could be given here would be of Cadbury. When Cadbury was in controversy, it actually blamed the packaging and it came up with it reinvented its packaging and it was relaunched. So there was no response of that kind being given by Maggie. Another biggest flaw that Nestle did was when actually MSG was found in Barabaki plant in UP, it could have actually paid a penalty of 25,000 and the controversy could have been subdued. But it was the overconfidence of Maggie that it actually further sent it out to testing Kolkata plants that the controversy blew up. Maggie, as Sir had discussed, life without Maggie will be an apocalypse. So SOS, Rohan will drive to us to strategies that will help us prevent and bring Maggie out of the soup.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Please allow me to take you through the strategies that we have devised. The first, we have devised the strategies, divided the strategies into basically two flows. One is the short term and the other is the long term. In short term, we have eliminating the fear and then regaining the trust. These are important because eliminating fear just would not ensure sales, because we need to pull the customers back from other brands to our brand. A case in point would be an example of Lay, where a supplier of UP used to sell 1,000 cartons, but after the Maggie problem, the orders have gone up to 4,000 cartons. So this shows the amount of trust that has been lost. The next is long term. In the long term, we have to regain the generic brand value, where noodles is synonymous with Maggie, and also be the market leader. As said by Vidya, Maggie had a share of over 70%, and our aim would be to realize that. The strategies are firstly positioning. Earlier, the tagline used to be "Taste Be, Health Be," but due to the Health Be part has become a legacy, and which it no longer holds. So try focusing on that. For this, we need to address our strategy especially towards mother and children. The next is internal confidence. Internal confidence deals with the organization. There are over 30,000 employees working for Maggie in India. So they are our basic support, and all of us agree that word of mouth marketing is the best way we can do this. The next is owners of the company, that is shareholders. After the controversy erupted, we all know that the share price dropped drastically. It has picked up a bit right now, but a healthy growth in the share price would also indicate a healthy organization and trust by the shareholders in the company. So it's very important to not disappoint the shareholders also. Next is conducting workshops. In workshops, we plan to have events such as many workshops in colleges. For example, HUL Line, which is a very famous case study challenge that pans across B schools in India. And also have audio and video publicity for the same by partnering with a TV channel. The next is having celebrity dietitians. An example can be Ruchita Divekar, and have them associate with our brand to portray that our brand is healthy at the same time and tasty at the same time. Next is having some books or comics. For example, Popeye was synonymous with health. So have a character or a small booklet with our product so that we can address the issue. The next is brand ambassadors. We had Amitabh Bachchan, Preeti Zinta, etc. Campaign for Maggi, but now we would like to focus on mother children. For example, have a food contest wherein a mother cooks a product with Maggi for the child. This shows the trust that a mother shows in our brand. Next is advertising campaigns. In advertising campaigns, the focus has to be primarily on Maggi being a healthy product. The testing process needs to be transparent. As mentioned before, the results were too technical for a layman to understand. Next is social media. Maggi has a following of 33,000 people on Twitter and a following of 2.2 million on Facebook. When the controversy erupted, it went aggressive on Twitter and stopped addressing on Facebook for a period of almost 2 weeks. This should not be repeated, and we should invest heavily on Facebook. Moving on finally to the last slide on how to sell Maggi now. The primary thing is to comply with all the global standards. Next is renovate and reinvent products just like Cadbury and Amul did. Next is to bleed a bit right now on the profits and increase the sales. Also highlight that the world is eating Maggi because Singapore, London, etc. have approved Maggi exported out of India. Next is have a great ambassador and also highlight the CSR activities so that there's a social touch to what we do. Thank you.
I think that was well done. It was well articulated, well issued. It was more interesting for me rather than reading through slides. I like the manner in which you have done that. So it was creatively done, very good on that. Acknowledging the problem, that's really good that you're doing. You're talking about the delay in communications, that's really good. Your strategy has a short term, long term, and what are you trying to do in the short term, long term? Not the actions you will take to address the issue that is there. So I like that part of it, there is clarity in there. And positioning also, I liked it. I am not saying it's the correct positioning or not the correct positioning, but considering your presentation, it seems good. Overall, one of the best presentations I've seen so far.
Thank you so much.
We all know the solutions, Okay, so that's something that you should keep in mind. And the second thing is that there is a problem. I wonder if you focus on it. Is what happened to all this glutamate and lead? Your first slide very rightly said that the taste maker is unique, but the taste maker is where the problem is. So what you're suggesting is do nothing and just carry on with life as usual.
Sir, if I may answer that.
Yeah.
So one thing was what we tried to convey was like Cadbury remodel its packaging or something. We wanted Maggi to reinvent its we did not say that Maggi has to reinvent its packaging, but that was just an example to show that Maggi needs to do something with its product which will differentiate it from the previous product that it has.
Next time you got to say it out loud.
Sure, sir.
If that's a central part, say it.
Sure, sir.
That you got to change the product.
Yes.
At which point of time the judge will come down like a ton of bricks and say, how? Okay, so it's a tough one.
So there could be one more solution to it, wherein we had mentioned that we will set up stalls, across malls and all that. Now, when it comes to the MSG and lead controversy, it was not found across India. So it was in UP basically where it was found. So if Maggi could come up with stalls wherein you could actually bring up testing methods, tasting methods, and show that Maggi actually does not have MSG, rather it's the Chinese counterparts which actually have a high level of MSG, it could work for Maggi.
We'll see that.
I don't think it will work that way because it's nothing to do with the category in which Maggi operates. So what essentially you will do is you will actually try and patronize the unbranded competitors of Maggi by bringing them into the conversation needlessly. So I think that's the mistake you will make if you try that strategy. So a couple of points from my side. I think overall it's a good presentation, and I particularly like that technique where the slides work for themselves, which Sudha mentioned, because it's a way of modern day presentation actually, where the slide speaks everything, and you don't repeat what is being written. So that's a technique at least we have applied. The other point I liked is when you defined the problem, you mentioned one word, which is that Maggi has become overconfident, okay, as a brand. So I think that's actually the key problem according to me. Okay, I think that brands assume different characters, and for brand Maggi, maybe I'm jumping the gun at this stage, but I think it is too much arrogance and too much complacency, and a mix of both complacency and arrogance, which has actually led to the downfall of this brand. So I think you have touched upon that and you have mentioned that overconfidence, but I think that's what I like in this presentation. On the positioning bit, yes, you have said that it can be positioned as a healthy anytime snack. Now, I don't think you have tried to define healthy in what sense, because healthy could have different connotations for different people. So possibly if you would have made an attempt to connect healthy with the factor of safety. It's healthy because it's safe, or it's safe, therefore it's healthy. Try to create a relationship which is a functionality as well as an emotional quotient, then possibly would have brought alive the positioning much better and in a much vivid sense, which I think you missed out. So that's and I think the other point you missed out is on employee engagement, because while you actually as a corporate communications head, you need to do a lot of tactics around employee engagement, which you have not tackled. You went for the you went for the more of consumer activation and stuff like that. You mentioned it, yeah, but I think it's just in passing. I mean, like the way you have to actually because that's critical again. Because if you have got if there is a depletion of employee morale because of the downsizing, and if you have got a sizable employee base, then there is an opportunity to convert that mindset into a proactive brand ambassador. Perhaps there is a merit in mentioning it, which I thought it would be coming from.
Sir, just a point, I had mentioned our employees as using, would be doing word of mouth marketing. So that's how we try to relate your.
Yeah, that's a very that's a bit generic, and there is a science to word of mouth marketing. It doesn't happen unless you specify according to you what the way it should be done. So these are my views. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We now break for lunch. Judges, panelists, if you could please follow one of us here. You guys. Students, please remain seated because there will be attendance at this point. So. We're joined now by Professor Chatterjee, and picking up where we left off, we have our very own. Picking up where we left off, we have our very own challengers from SIMC Pune taking the stage.
Let's start off with fun fact. The total length of noodles in a packet is 51 meters. The length of the longest anaconda ever measured is 5.21 meters. So essentially, one noodle pack is equivalent to 10 anacondas. The question is, are both lethal? So let's understand what really happened. Maggi began in 1983. It's been more than 25 years since it started in the market. In the 90s, it acquired a 90%. It enjoyed a 90% share. Come June 2015, 12.5 crore packets were recalled, a 450 crore loss within a month. So let's analyze this situation, and we have come up with an approach. We have gathered some data, we have analyzed it, we have come to a conclusion, derived an insight, we have formulated a strategy, and from that we have decided to send out a message through the relevant media. Studying the market scenario first, India stands at 4th position globally in the global consumption of instant noodles. The instant noodle market has risen by 20% from 2010 to 2015. Before the ban, Maggi enjoyed a 70% share in the market, and the closest competitor was AP at 12%. Now, why this category is so lucrative is because it's tasty, it's convenient, it's an anytime quick snack, and of course, it's available anywhere in the entire country. But it does have its own barriers. It has maida in it, it has MSG in it, it's said to have MSG basically. And of course, all this has led to the fact that it's looked upon as a very unhealthy product. Now, Maggi itself as a brand is a highly loved and respected product. In the brand engagement pyramid, it stands at the attachment stage, which is the highest stage acquired by a brand. So let's analyze what the problems were. Problem number 1, monosodium glutamate. So apparently, it was found that there was the content of MSG, that is E621 in the market. Maggi says that the L-glutamate, the content is L-glutamate, which is a natural occurring component because of the ingredients in the masala. But the law says that even if you have a naturally occurring glutamate in your product, you are supposed to say contains MSG. Lead. Maggi was found to have 17 ppm of lead, whereas it should have had 0.01 ppm. It spent 445 crore on advertising, but only 19 crores on quality testing. Coming to the most important part, the consumers.
So we have the TG, we have basically divided it into 4. We've got the mother and the child. Category we call the bachelors, and then the travelers. So the mother and child, the mother is a city person and is concerned about the child's health. Now the child is dependent on the mother, and more importantly is the end consumer. And now the bachelors we've decided, we've taken up the students and the professionals. What we need to know is that they are for convenience, and they stay up late, which means they have Maggi when they cannot get their food. And then we've got the traveler, which is a subset of the bachelors. They are in remote areas, and Maggi is a convenient food for them. Now moving on to the research.
So there's the communication strategy that we're looking at is to regain the confidence, but only by sending across the right message to the consumer. The focus group is again the mother, because health is really important. And the positioning that we are looking at is the same as Maggi always positioned himself, that was sensitive and caring, again to reinstill the trust of the mother, the message.
Now, keeping an eye on the entire research and the findings that we've done, we've come out with a common message that noodles are completely safe to have, and you can absolutely trust our products. We care for you just like your mom does. So we've tried to link the TGs with a Walsh diagram, and we've come to a conclusion that the mothers are the thinkers. They think before buying a product for their kid. So the core message that we are trying to convey over here is that Maggi is equal to trust. And this message is being conveyed by building a perception of health for a core TG, that is mothers, and maintaining recall and to restart consumption for the other TGs, that is the working professionals, students and travelers. I'll be taking you through the various media touchpoints for the various TGs that we have over here. So we divided the campaign into 3 parts: pre-launch, launch and post-launch. And as you can see, we represented it over here in a Gantt chart. So the rationale behind everything is that make everyone believe that Maggi noodles are healthier. We have to establish Maggi as a brand that promotes health, and the entire new packaging will be FSSAI approved. To bring into the health angle, we have decided to bring in line extensions such as vermicelli, which will be for health conscious mothers. Now, to reinforce all this, we have a celebrity endorsement. Rahul Dravid, who is a symbol of trust and sincerity and dependence in our country, and mothers trust him, will be doing an infomercial on Maggi. Now this infomercial will be about a 30-second infomercial stating that how Maggi has improved and how you can trust Maggi now. Next, we have in-product placements. In product placements, we've decided to target Hindi GEC channels, and serials like Sasaram Ka Simar will be used where the main protagonist will use Maggi noodles. This will be done to reinforce the image of Maggi and to increase the recall. We've also decided to introduce a healthy cooking show. So this show will launch pre-launch and post-launch. In the pre-launch campaign, this show will be sponsored by Maggi, and it will have the various products which are there under the Maggi umbrella, except the Maggi noodles. Now, once we launch the Maggi noodles, we'll be introducing Maggi noodles into the entire show and integrating it with the various food products. We've also decided to make it a little experiential by including factory visits. These factory visits are basically to reinstill trust so that the consumers realize that the entire manufacturing process is transparent and they have nothing to fear about. We decided to get into social media for the other TG, and we'll have listicles and natives powered by Maggi. Then there is a hashtag MyMaggi style contest, which basically pimp my Maggi. You basically have Maggi products such as egg Maggi which you can suggest. Now the main issue with mothers is कि उनको समझ में नहीं आता रात को खाना क्या बनाए. तो सबसे बड़ा इशू होता है आज क्या खाना बनाऊँ अगला, क्योंकि हर रोज वही सेम बोरिंग खाना. So we decided to come out with a mobile app for such mothers and working professionals where they can enter the ingredients and it will give the output recipe. We decided to do one innovation over here now. We decided to come out with the Times of Maggi. Now the Times of Maggi is a jacket. As you can see, it's a vertical jacket covering India and give the entire information about history on Maggi. This will be done only on the launch date because TOI has a mass reach. And on the back of the leaflet, there will be an entire message that we are conveying under the signature of the MD. We've also decided to introduce paper bags into it to create a mindset of healthy brand which will be used in vegetable and shopping malls. Now, press release is a very important part of our entire campaign because we need to rake in the trust of the government and the retailers as they are the ones who will be pushing our products eventually. So, press release will run throughout the campaign. Now, the entire media budget for this total campaign process we've approximated to around 11 crores. The problem that we're trying to solve over here is regain trust, initiate trial and purchase, come off as a brand from being numb to little more sensitive, tap consumers' needs through the mobile apps, and as a brand that we care for consumer health. At the end, we just want to say कि अगर कोई बच्चा बोले मम्मी मम्मी भूख लगी तो माँ बस बोले कि आओ मैगी खिलाती हूँ.
That's one answer.
FSSAI is the one who's going to be saying whether the product is safe or not, which is what the current conversation is.
Have you, when you make these suggestions, I trust they are to be taken seriously. So have you read the charter of FSSAI? You have read the charter? Are they allowed to endorse products?
So it's not going to be an endorsement.
Not going to be an endorsement. This is going to be a stamp will be there on the packet that this is now the product is FSSAI.
How? They've just disproved, I mean they've just spiked your product. They've caused you an enormous loss.
Yeah.
And now you expect me to put my hand on your shoulder and say, "Ye to acha aadmi hai."
So sir, the assumption in this entire strategy is, as you can see on the slide we put there, that the ban has been lifted from Maggi.
No, there has to be a veracity to that. See, we are, we could be dealing with fairy tales. Kiji, sab kuch theek hai, so then what's the point of this? You must understand that when you are given a subject like this, you have to deal with it with a certain amount of seriousness of purpose, right? If we assume that the ban has been lifted, then there is no case study. Then they can do whatever they feel like doing. And even if we assume that the ban is lifted, the FSSAI, without changing your product, without changing your anything, is certainly going to come back and say, "Haan ji, this is approved."
So sir, because we are coming on the line extension before the launch of Maggi, which will happen post. It's not happening right now. The line extension is to tell that these are things that Maggi is offering, and there is a way to instill trust in them. So yes, you stand completely right, and we have read the document. But FSSAI approval can be through probably press releases, or even they can have an approval mark on the product which it can be given, because they are the ones who have brought you down. So as you said, they are the ones who caused you a loss.
Are you also aware that no product can be sold without an FSSAI approval?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Then what's the issue?
So the problem
Then
is
where is the
MSG. So, but right now the consumers don't know. I mean, it has just come out that FSSAI has, they have put bad Maggi and they have found problems in it. But now that they have no problems in it, we are just trying to tell the consumers that because the product is safe now and it has also been approved by FSSAI. We are just making it more prominent, even though it has already been approved. We are just reinforcing that it has already been approved, and that's what we'll be branding on the pack. That's the idea.
Okay, doesn't sound convincing to me. If you're convinced, I'm happy. You got to do your homework before before you make suggestions. You must do your homework. Very necessary. Very necessary to get into the charter of FSSAI. Are they allowed to endorse products which they are approved, which they are the approving authority of? Not really possible. We'll check this out. Okay.
I like the start and the end, really good. I like the manner in which you articulated the problem, that was very good. You've spoken about social listening, that's really good. And but I'm very concerned. Also, you mentioned that emotional, which is how we're going to take forward the campaign. But I'm very concerned about how loosely all of you are presenting and talking about, talking or not talking about PR and press releases. I'm wondering what you think the press release is and what it is going to do. Are you all studying PR?
Yes.
And what do you think a press release does?
So intentionally, a press release right here is just to, so we are not going to influence anybody directly. So press release would be putting information forward so that the government as well as the retailers who need the convincing, who would be pushing the product.
So it's a part of a larger strategy.
Yeah, it's part of the larger strategy.
But press release is all you have mentioned in the listening. So,
Yeah.
and the manner in which you mentioned it doesn't sound really convincing.
But
But very good start, very good end. It was sharper, it was small, problems well articulated, good presentation, good effort.
Okay, so to me, I think I like the presentation, the way you have structured it, the flow. I mean, I'm just talking about the so there is a content, and then there is a certain styling, okay, which we call as the form. So form versus content. So I think in a presentation of this nature, both are equally important. What I like is the form or the format of storytelling, or the way you have kind of put it up there. So that's one. I have a concern about the way you mentioned about positioning. Now, positioning is not a loose word in that sense. So you had actually used words, and if I quote you, you said that we are trying to position it as sensitive and caring. I don't think that's the way, that's the right positioning, or those are the words which define positioning for Maggi as a brand. Because positioning is nothing but a specific mindset or a specific space which the brand occupies in the consumer's mind. So the words which you mentioned as sensitive and caring, I think it pertains to other products, other categories, but certainly not Maggi in that sense. So you need to be, it could be the brand personality, okay, but it's not the brand positioning, because positioning is